Hello everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Main Character Syndrome. I'm your host, Cheesymanfredo, aka Alfredo Morales. And with me here today is not my co-host, Julian, because I don't know where he's at, but I guess temporary co-host Jim Protus is here.
It's me, Jim Protus, back again.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going, fam?
Back again.
Remember fam? Remember whenever you say fam?
People still say fam.
You should bring it back.
It's a regional thing in certain places.
Like in upstate New York, I hear it a lot.
Yeah. Before we move forward, I'll say thanks to Spyro for being the guest on the previous episode, which just dropped by the time I recorded this.
I did start listening to it, but I didn't have time to. So I'm still unsure. You've clickbaited me. I'm still unsure what the fuck is on that thumbnail.
Oh, that's from the Star King special that came out like last year.
Okay, I still don't know what that is, but it's fine. We can move on. I don't want to know.
I gotcha. All right, and I think also by the time this podcast comes out, we would have picked our artist for the Diesel Bizarre Redraw Project zine.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Yeah. I've been just letting that kind of be in the back burner for a minute, just
marinate.
to accumulate. Yeah, I've been accumulating like artists, and I'm kind of just like, part of me is thinking like, should I wait till like the deadline to officially? Because at this point, I only need 2 more artists, but everyone who's been submitting hasn't been like too up to par. To whatever exactly I'm looking for.
Oh, how dare they? How dare they?
Maybe I'll retweet it today again, just to see what we get. I saw some like really good artists like retweet it, but like they never submitted anything to it, so it's like, damn.
I forgot. I meant to shout it out on the latest joke, but honestly, the view count on that wasn't very high anyway. So
yeah, we're whatever. We're good, but yeah. Once we got these 2 artists, then we'll designate like pages for people, because I'm looking over people's art, and like some of them have way better strengths in other things than others. You know. Yeah.
I'll tell you this after when we're off air, but I had a recommendation for one that I'm pretty sure didn't apply, but I'll tell you off air.
All right, sounds good.
Keep that a little secret between us.
Yeah, well, and I guess by the time that'll be all wrapped up by the time this episode comes out. So I could say that we'll be giving the artist like 2 months to finish the page. I think that's pretty generous.
That sounds like a really good amount of time.
Yeah, because some people really like, either they're busy or it just takes them a while to get any kind of art done. You know, I mean, I probably will encourage like, look, the sooner everyone finishes theirs, the sooner we get this out. So.
Hell yeah. And I did create the epic spreadsheet to keep track of all the pages. So
right, smart.
Very
I saw
excited.
You put Pug on there.
Oh, well, that's what I was gonna say. I'll just spoil it now. The end credits page of Diesel looks a lot like the art that Pug creates, so I thought it might be fun if Pug could do that. So we'll see.
Oh, did you ask Pug?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, he'd probably be down. That guy's always looking for projects or something to do. He's got free time now that he's fired from his day job.
Oh shit, I didn't hear about that. Okay, we don't need to talk about people's personal lives.
Airing out too much of someone's dirty laundry. All right. Well, anyway, you said before we started recording, you said something interesting, something very topical. You've been playing Palworld.
Yes, the meme game. By this time, I'm sure nobody will be talking about it anymore when this episode drops next week. So I've put about 6 hours into it. It certainly is a survival crafting video game. Like, don't be fooled by the Pokemon on the cover. It really is.
There's no Pokemon on there in the game.
Well, there's a couple. But the game really is one of those incremental, like, crafting survival, which really is not up my alley, but I was intrigued by the slavery. I was intrigued by the brutal murdering and killing of Pokemon.
As a white man, I am very intrigued by the slavery mechanic, and it's right up my alley.
So there was a hilarious I had I literally was like cracking up like 2 minutes into the game because like the little cutscene that plays is like you wake up in like the Palworld and you have to like fend for yourself, and like they're all like Pokemon ripoffs, like they all just look cute, and then you walk up to a woman who is like sitting at a fire with holding a fucking gun, and she's like, yeah, I'm the last of my squad, 100 of us shipped out here, everyone was killed by the pals. Like, oh my God. She paints this as like a merciless, like cruel, hellish landscape, like Elden Ring, like the what is it? The lands between Elden Ring don't hold a candle to how hostile this land is. You will die immediately, but it's pretty boring. You just kind of like do the crafting thing.
Is it is there no like kind of like creature battle like mechanic or system in the game?
So as far as I can tell, it's pretty like automatic. Like you can only have one pal out at a time. It's very similar to Pokemon, whereas like you just catch them. Like you literally just beat them up, get their health low, and then catch them. And then when you have them out, they have a few attacks that they will like kind of cycle through. But it's all like real time. Like it's not like a. I still haven't played the new Pokemon games, but I think they've still kept the like RTS, not RTS, what is it, like turn-based rather. This it's like full, just like everyone's running around, the pals are just fucking frantically flailing around the screen, they're so hard to target. And I reached, it's very hilarious like how it just rips off like everything. The font that of like when you walk into a new location, it is just the Breath of the Wild font, and it like it just plays that sound.
It's using the Breath of the Wild font for the logo, I think.
I think you might be right.
That looks like it.
But yeah, like so the game is guiding you, early game's guiding you to a tower, and when you like enter the tower, it just teleports you to like a boss room, and then you you fight a boss. It is like Breath of the it's like Breath of the Wild. There is also a climb anything mechanic like Breath of the Wild, and a glider mechanic, but everything is so stiff that it's not really like fun. It's very like tedious to play in a way that I don't really recommend.
I think you're probably, I did say that like on Twitter, I tweeted by Monday no one's gonna be talking about Palworld. People are still talking about Palworld, but it is gonna die soon.
It like, probably will. Part of me like the most like kind-hearted sentiment I have is maybe with all of the money this studio, because like there's a lot of reports coming out that the studio is literally like 12 guys, and they had like no experience in like.
I hear there's like allegations of AI art being used, but I don't think there's any evidence. We just are just assuming. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them though.
I wouldn't either. I have a lot of thoughts about this. So like AI is like the big boogeyman right now, and people hate this game, and they are just trying to attack it in any way they can.
I think, and I'll say this might get me canceled for me to say, I really don't care. They're like ripping off one for one, like Pokemon. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I really don't give a shit either. Like, I think it's people funny.
It is pretty funny. Like, some of them just blatantly look like them. It's funny. People are saying like, oh, there is like one for one. They're just copying Pokemon models, and I'm like, that just feels obvious just by looking at a lot of them. Right.
Yeah, there are some that are like way more egregious than others, but like so you linked a thread that goes through like all the mons, they're called pals, and like
all the pals.
I mean, you can definitely. I feel like some are a stretch. Like people comparing Wooloo, the sheep Pokemon, to I don't know his fucking name, Sheepball. I think his name's Sheepball. Like, it literally, like, it is just a circle, like, in both cases.
Yeah.
There's really nothing else similar than it being a circle that is, like, fluffy, like, because it's a sheep. I'm just so, like, uninterested in people, like, sucking the dick of, like, the Pokemon studio. I mean, don't get me wrong. This, like, some of these are so fucking clearly, stolen.
Some of these, like, some of the pals just look like I'm looking at white noise, you know, like
that's like such a good way of saying it.
There's something kind of like interesting because I have not been, the last like Pokemon game I was into was like Soul Silver, so I really have there's like a lot of Pokemon I don't know that exist, right? Because there's been times where I was like, oh, I've never seen this Pokemon before, and it came out like a generation after Soul Silver, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So like, there's a shitload of them at this point that I'm just do not recognize, but like, I don't know, it just feels like a lot of them are just like white noise, carbon copies of like it's funny how like we could like devolve down the kind of like generic like Pokemon style down, and like people can make these like rip-offs of them that like I don't know, this one this one feels overly designed, but
that's the thing, like it's really weird. I don't know, I'm assuming there is an evolution mechanic because
there's gotta be, right?
Because I've seen
like, you're gonna rip that off.
Like, so the Totoro guy, I feel like he's kind of like the mascot. He's people are like, oh, it's like Electabuzz and Totoro. I think that design actually is probably one of the stronger ones.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, I actually think it's like kind of a strong design, and to me, it doesn't really feel like too much of a Pokemon ripoff. But there is a little guy that I think is like his first form. There's like a little electric guy, so I think there is evolution. I just haven't seen it yet.
I think I just saw it. It's is it this one?
It's like,
because it looks like it evolved.
Yeah, that must be the same guy, right?
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
I don't know any of their names. The problem is, like, I'm playing on my Steam Deck, so the fonts are really tiny, so I can't read any of their fucking names. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that is like cool, like so what I was saying earlier, like in a perfect world, the people who make this game would.
I think this one looks cool. I like this one.
Now this feels like really interesting.
Looks like Final Fantasy-esque.
Yes, so that's actually another good point. But let me finish my thought. In a perfect world, I would like this early access game to get this huge influx of money and be like, all right, wow, we really have like an idea here. Let's really refine what we have, because I think at its core, like there's a nut that is really good and interesting.
The nut is really good.
And it comes down to automating your crafting shit by having your pal slaves do it for you. There's something like pretty satisfying about like setting up like a little like farm for your pals, and then like one of them goes over and like throws beans in like the bean farms, and the other one comes over and waters it because it's like a water type. And to me, it's like, I know that's not new, but merging that kind of like automized crafting survival-y game with Pokemon is kind of interesting. And also I like the idea, basically every pal has like a synergy thing that you can do, like you have to buy like a handle that you can attach to like the Firefox one, that like you can hold him and use him like a flamethrower, or
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, like there's some fun ideas there, and I think I really do think that there is like a lot of promise here, and like whatever, putting aside like the plagiarism, the theft, whatever. I would really like to see like something cool come out of this, because it's not, I don't know, it feels soulless in a way. But
do you think the attitude of this being like a quick buck is like holding it back a little,
That's a really good point. And it's funny because I remember seeing this game teased like forever ago. Like, yeah, I feel like it was teased in like 20.
It was like 2 years ago, I think it was teased.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, to me, it doesn't feel like a quick buck kind of thing. Like, I mean,
I wonder if there's plans to like. I wonder if there are plans to like. I don't know, what's it called when they release like that. The norm is just to release unfinished games, right?
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, it is early access.
Okay, that makes sense. So, I think that the plan is they're gonna keep like tooling around. I don't think these claims of plagiarism are gonna. I think the only people who are gonna be bothered by it are like the diehard Pokemon fans.
Yeah.
Right. But we're at a very interesting turning point with Pokemon right now. That there's two types of Pokemon fans: the Pokemon fans that love Pokemon and the Pokemon fans that hate Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right. And I think there's like enough, because like I'm also seeing a popular sentiment with this should like make Pokemon quake in their boots, right? This is like, someone is doing the things that Pokemon maybe obviously should have done like years ago. Have an online Pokemon game, just beat it to it. Right? And I think having the monsters look almost exactly like Pokemon. It was on purpose. Like that was part of the plan. You know.
Definitely. I mean, that I'm watching it right now. That first trailer, which did come out in 2021, so yeah, this has been a couple years in the making. At least it's not like they just dropped it out of nowhere. The first trailer, it has an incredible arc. Like, it starts off with like, oh, a girl running with her Pokemon in a field, and then the wolf that she starts riding the wolf, and it does a fucking Akira slide. Then you start seeing like all these different biomes, and then it's like, oh, there's a crafting. She's making a house. Then immediately the guns come out. Like literally, she's just like mowing down like humans while her giant fucking Totoro electric bear is killing them in like a sort of. It looks kind of like a Middle East inspired setting.
Oh my god!
Incredible, incredible video game. Like the promise of this game is hilarious. Okay,
you can start sweatshops with your Pokemon. I think this one is neat.
That actually is a really solid design. That feels like it could have been like a Pokemon design in an alternate world.
I think it is a like okay. So if I were to, let's say, big businessman who owns the company that owns this. So the plan is you make a game, you make it very similar to looking like Pokemon. And I think I think that's kind of like if you want to make a major impact, you're gonna have to just do the ripoff route, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like think of all the other like Pokemon likes that were trying to like compete with Pokemon. They have to make themselves they try to make themselves stand out. You know, no one's tried to like, let's just fucking just rip them off. No one's tried that yet, right?
Yeah.
No one. So it's technically kind of a new way to tackle it, right?
And I know it's like a joke, but like, how long have people been saying Nintendo hire this man when they see an image of a game that looks identical to what Palworld is giving us?
Those people they joke about the Nintendo hire this man, but like they weren't being unironic when people were saying that phrase. People would have eaten up fucking Mario and Unreal Engine, you know? Like that's they unironically want that. They're not fucking lying, you know? Right? I think if I were to be the people that own this place and I were to like maximize profit, I would play the long game. So this is what you do. You try to make like power like incredibly accessible. You just make it like free like Fortnite, you know?
Yeah.
And then you tweak out things. You could like drop a lot of like core things later, like Fortnite. Like, you know, Fortnite, that Fortnite is actually a zombie survival game.
Yeah, I know it started as a PvE game.
Yeah, but they dropped that like I think it's still part of the game. Like if you pay for it, you can play that like the zombie survival side, but like it's like, it's in the background now. So what you do is like, okay, you jump in, you make a big scene by like, oh, you have guns, oh, you have sweatshots, but over the course of a couple of like a year or so, you maybe like slowly phase that out, and you make yourself kind of like, what you're betting on is that you're gonna make like the newer generation of like kids like think that Palworld is kind of like the norm, that Palworld is not the ripoff, it's just another thing that exists, and you grow like sentimentality with the pals, with a younger generation. So like then they have no idea what Pokemon is, which it won't be like an easy feat.
It'd be almost impossible.
It is almost impossible, to make people forget about Pokemon, right? But I don't know. I think it could be possible if you like if you're like, okay, we're trying to do Fortnite but with an MMO Pokemon game, yeah, I don't know. People yeah, it's very
I think that is like, okay, I really like this idea that you're presenting because I think it's very real. Hold on, I'm trying to find the guy's name. Have you seen, there's a guy on TikTok who I believe he's Senegalese. And his whole shtick is that he would just make videos. Like somebody would have a video of them doing something really complicated, and then he would do it really easily, like the way it's intended, and then he just shrugs.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find his name. But he is something Lame. But he like is one of like the most humongous TikTok creators, and like he doesn't really speak English. He just does his like little like pantomime thing, but because it's such a universal thing, like people fucking love him. And like TikTok of course is gonna have such a young audience, so like I was watching a video and these guys were joking like this guy's like 50 times more famous than Lil Wayne is, like, it's just hard to like wrap your head around like what exposure can do. Like back when like I was a young kid, like you couldn't just be like a random nobody and blow up and have like 200 million followers. Like
true.
But now that you can, just because of how things are, and like kind of tied to that, like it's not like one for one, but Fortnite is such a great thing. Like you've had, I mean, Fortnite's been free to play for maybe like what, 5 years at this point?
Oh yeah,
if
definitely.
not longer. I forever ago, I used to substitute teach, and I remember like back then the kids were talking about it, and that was pre-pandemic, and yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I have recently dipped my toe into Fortnite, playing with some friends.
Oh yeah,
and it's
my buddy
fun
too. Yeah,
like,
people are having fun with Fortnite.
It's just fun to play with your friends. It's like back when I was a kid, Halo 3 was the game that we all played, just because there was kind of like a sandboxy element to it where we would all go on and hang out and play through it, and like it's like a second space, I guess you could call it. That's what I think Fortnite serves at. And like being free is like just another barrier to entry. Being able to play on your phone, like, yeah, I think if they can maneuver something similar, they could do that sort of endearing. I guess it's just going to be a matter of time before we see a PAL animated series like teased. That's kind of the next step, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. This has that kind of vibe of like when someone kickstarts a game and they'll be like, "Oh, we make enough money, we'll have a show, we'll have an anime." I think though the one advantage that, because like the one advantage that like Fortnite has is the whole like, oh well, you could like, you know, bring in characters from other franchises into Fortnite, right? Um, Fortnite is kind of interesting where like I have no idea of any of the names for the original Fortnite characters, but
no idea.
Kids do though. Kids know what his name, Josie, the fish guy, that one cat with a fat ass. Like they know the names of those characters, right? Um, and I guess like what Powell has to do is just, you know, just get people fucking to like their kind of original character. Because like I can't see like Powell doing a deal with like Travis Scott that he shows up in the game and he's catching pals or something.
I mean, like, what do you have to lose? Like, you're a brand new fucking franchise. Like, you clearly have no soul. Like, I think that's the point.
That's
Palworld has no soul. Like, same with Fortnite. Like, I'd say there's like kind of no soul to Fortnite. They like could, and this is like the key moment for them. Like they need to make big moves now, because in like 3 months they're gonna have like a fraction of their current player base, unless they
oh yeah, true, because right now it's just kind of just like the meme, like, oh, this is the Pokemon game with the guns. I mean, if it was me, I would just focus on making like a good game first, but you know, because that would carry you that would carry you pretty far, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah. Hold up. Yeah.
We're palling. We're palling.
We're palling around. We're just a bunch of pal. Right. Fuck, what was I gonna say? If I were to make my own Pokemon ripoff, I would just hire like all the artists who do the Fakeamons. You know, you ever been in the circles of people who do like fake Pokemon?
Yeah, I mean, how jazzed would you be if you're just like a 2,000 follower Twitter artist, and someone from like a big company is like, "Hey, we like your Fakemon. We want to pay you to draw more."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe like, what are the other like Pokemon ripoffs? There's that Temtem game that no one plays and no one talks about.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
That one is pretty similar looking to Pokemon, but I don't know, I just didn't have, I guess like the whole like meme like guns or having the pals look exactly like Pokemon worked in their advantage. Right? Yeah. Because I don't know, I've seen like gameplay of Temtem and I'm like, yeah, this just looks like another Pokemon game. And maybe like that's not exactly what people want. They don't want another Pokemon game. They just want a better Pokemon game. Or I don't know. It's interesting, you know, because you were there when Sword and Shield was coming out and everyone was getting mad about like, oh, you can't catch every single Pokemon in Sword and Shield, right? And a bajillion like different like laundry list of problems people had with current Pokemon, and you know, and I think a competitor could come in and swoop in and like fix a lot of that, but like I don't think anyone has, and no one like really worthwhile has,
Thinking about this just makes me realize how weird of a franchise Pokemon is, because it's essentially just like a mascot, like umbrella franchise where you're just like making a bajillion mascots, and like by the hey,
are you recording yourself?
Yes. What's that?
All right.
Speaking of PAL trainers joining.
Speaking of PAL fans.
Speaking of PAL fans.
Biggest PAL
I'm
fan
the
in the
biggest
world.
PAL head in the whole world.
So okay, let me finish my thought. I had a fun thought about Pokemon is such a strange franchise in terms of the fact that it's like everyone's gonna have a favorite. So is that like the point of Pokemon? Is it to be like something where everyone can identify with a guy? Or is it supposed to be a fun game series? Because like with Palworld and its popularity, it's like I guess the specific Mons aren't really necessarily the draw in this case. It's more like people wanting to play a game with like the sort of like semblance of Pokemon guys.
Yes, that's correct.
I've like been like out of favor with Pokemon for like a long time now. So I don't really keep up with anything. Oh, and there's my co-host Julian. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey there, everybody.
Yo.
It's funny because originally I was gonna have two other guests, but they fell through, and oh well, look at that. Jesus is on my side today, I guess.
According to Cheesy, he only records on his schedule, so.
Who other schedule I record on?
I'm currently working right now, so I should not be here.
Okay, all right.
So I've done that before.
So I can leave.
I'm funniest when I'm recording while I'm working. All the good episodes, or at least in terms of my performance.
I can't do that because my work is on the phone.
Okay, well, anyway.
All right, Spork, name 3 pals. I literally cannot.
I didn't even know they had names.
So, there's Daydream, which is probably my favorite one right now.
Daydream?
Hold up. There's...
I gotta look up what these look
Daydream
like.
Daydream is like Misdreavus.
Did I... Pal, Daydream.
But with like arms and legs.
They're like so genericized that like I know the name has like... There's one that's called like Catnip or something, or Catboy.
These are awful names. They gotta fix these.
So yeah, they clearly had no naming convention. I think just the original Japanese developers just named them whatever. There's Daydream. There's a favorite name, Creamus.
Creamus.
I just found this meme.
Creamus. Literally right
which
now.
Which one's Creamus?
Right now. Creamus is the fucking little white dog. It's called Creamus.
Oh, the little Eevee. It's like a little Eevee.
It's Eevee's Gigantamax.
There's Sparkit. There's Tansy.
Tansy with the submachine gun.
You know what? Now that I look at Creamus, there is a smart move here by just ripping them off.
Lamball. Lamball's really good.
Lamball, yeah, and there's Chickadee, right?
It's a Chickapee.
The developers were trying to send you a message. They were saying, "Hey, you can absolutely fuck this one."
I haven't seen this one yet, but there's one called Fuack.
Fuack.
Yeah,
it's like the word fuck, but with an A.
Someone should make like a, what's it called, the Cerebi.net, but for Palworld, so I could know all the Palworld creatures. Has someone made an encyclopedia of that yet?
There's probably a
I'm
wiki.
sure it's coming.
I mean, there is the decks in the game, or deck, it's called.
It is
Pal deck. Oh god.
I think
Jolt Hog.
All pals in Palworld.
Oh, okay. There is one called who I think it's Hoocrates, like Socrates, but it's like an owl.
Yeah, I was like, is that Hoocrates? What is this? Like, this is awful.
Because at first I was like, it can't be Hoocrates, right?
It's like a philosopher. It has like dark knowledge. It's like a wizard, but it's like Socrates.
Dark knowledge.
That's literally its ability is like dark knowledge.
I think the one that made me roll my eyes was Lamb Ball.
Ooh, I like it.
It's a lamb,
yeah,
but it's a
great.
ball.
It's
I love Lamb Ball, and he rolls.
I like Hookutees. This one's really good.
Hookutees.
Really good.
I think they knocked this one out of the park with this one.
I think he's great. It is really weird.
This one works.
Oh, I'll show you one of my
consistent
favorites.
like Electro Bolt thing is kind of weird. Like, why do these guys are really two different pals?
What's it called?
Why do they have like the same like chest shape?
There's one of the bad mons that will like. Oh, this one. Hold on.
I like this one. Liz Punks.
Yeah, Lee's Punk.
Les
I was gonna post that one. Lee's Punk is my favorite one. I gotta cough.
Yeah, they're really good.
This is cute. I like this guy. Zinheit.
I coughed.
I think what was I gonna say?
Lee's Punk is probably my favorite one.
I had a point earlier where I felt out of favor with Pokemon. I don't really care too much about it nowadays, but I have in the back of my mind been tempted to kind of like do a video talking about like what did Pokemon do in order to kind of like be successful. Because I think that's interesting.
Everything.
I think like really diving deep into not like why something is good, but why like it like caught on compared to everyone else. Because there's like a million things that like Pokemon does that like I don't even think they were on purpose. But
looking
like,
at their launch
never,
advertising, they had no
on.
idea what they were doing.
I think if there was one like very kind of like, oh, this was so fucking clever, is that like since the first game, there was the ability to like customize your character. Like you choosing the Pokemon you want is a form of customizing your character, right?
Sure.
And I think that like if more games kind of focused on like the customization is like subtle. It's not just like a menu and you decide how big your dick is or something. It's more like the choices you make in the game, like while actually playing it is what like decides like what you're gonna like look like or whatnot.
I like giving my character the biggest dick or the deepest vagina.
You can
the
do
biggest
both.
clitoris.
Yeah, let's not downplay
like,
the contribution Penis 2 made to the world at large.
I do love Penis 2. Yes.
Yeah, and Cyberpunk.
There's Penis 1 and Penis 2.
I actually like this one. This
Circumcised and uncircumcised.
Oh, is that like a... Oh, yeah, that's also my other favorite.
Dazi.
This is actually really cute. I think this really works as like, it doesn't really feel it. The mouth makes it feel like not a Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, there's a lot of Pokemon that look like that. I mean, it's basically like... What's the cloud one? Thunderous?
I hate them.
But like a cute
I hate them.
Little girl.
Yeah, it's like a cute version of it, yeah.
There isn't like is it just me or like it doesn't really feel like anything is too uniformed in Palworld.
I'll say this because I have to
absolutely
leave.
Not.
I think while a lot of the designs are shameless ripoffs down to being like copied directly from the models, which is cool. We love that.
Hell yeah.
I think it has kind of a unique vibe to some of them because when I'm playing Palworld, like the starting deer pal you get, it's like a giant deer. It looks like the legendary of Pokemon X.
Oh, Xerneas, yeah.
And it's just like a normal like level 10 Pokemon or pal. And it's like a lot of the pals have like a lot of shit added onto them to where they feel sort of like more evolved. Like they've like that one looks like a level 3 evolution at least. But you just get these normal, and I don't think they evolve. You just get them like normally. I feel like I don't know. It's kind of like how in like copying Pokemon, they've sort of like accidentally created a little style for themselves. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
It's very I don't want to say post Hoenn design or whatever. I don't know how to.
They're gonna say post 9/11 design.
Very post 9/11. Yeah, everything past like Kanto
is
post 9/11.
Post 9/11 inspired game.
There's like how does the sweatshop mechanic works? I don't think all of these pals can work in a sweatshop.
Oh yeah, they can.
You don't have to put them to work in sweatshops. Certain pals can do certain things. Like certain pals can like break rocks. and do different shit. So there's pals that can help you assemble tools, and eventually you get a conveyor belt to where you can have pals on a thing assembling tools on a conveyor belt. And they really over advertise the whole like, oh, abuse your Pokemon, put them in sweatshops, slave labor.
They're like crying.
Yeah, they really over advertise
crying.
that because it's like the edgy thing, but like you're not really supposed to do that. Like it's mostly just like a normal game where you just like, so your Pokemon have like levels of like happiness, and they can also get injuries for working for you. And generally you want to like keep them healthy and happy by giving them beds and breaks and food and such. But you can force them to work past the point of exhaustion, and then they'll just like break their bodies and kill themselves. But I mean, it's kind of stupid to do that because it's just not efficient. I don't know why you would do that.
It takes work to catch them, so the game de-incentivizes being evil.
Yeah, and I don't think you can actually kill a pal in your possession unless you butcher it intentionally.
This is someone's like OC Eevee.
Yes.
This is not a pal.
It's so cunty. Look how cunty that Eevee is.
It's very cunty, yes.
Oh my god.
But Palworld good. People are being a lot of little bitches. It's a great game when you don't got a little bitch in your ear telling you that it sucks.
Get that one meme with the little
It
C's.
is crazy. It is like I put a tweet out today because people just like they can't just hate something. They have to like come up with like a million.
Oh my god, no!
why.
You're so right. You're so right. Yeah, you can't just dislike things. It has to be like
I think a lot of
crime
Pokemon fans, like
humanity.
Pokemon writers, Pokemon diehards, are actually mad and jealous at this game and Palworld fans because I think people are mad that other people get to have the Pokemon game they've been dreaming of their entire lives, and they don't. They can't enjoy it because it's not Pokemon and it's like a ripoff, so they can't like it, and they're mad that millions of other people are enjoying this game that they've been dreaming of, but it's not Pokemon. It's not real. It's AI art. That's not true. It's.
I never played Arceus.
That's the thing too.
How close is it to that experience?
I've never played that game.
I haven't played it either.
Damn.
Nobody
wants you Arceus for real.
Palworld. I still think Palworld is a dumb name. They really
No, I think it's
like...
good.
It's funny. It's funny.
I like that they're called pals.
People are saying
feels
this
like a
game
fake-
is better than Arceus. I think if you
It
play
feels
this
like a
game and then
fake
go to
game
Arceus,
and, like-
it'd be a hard. So
This is like what they play in Kids Next Door, like in the cartoon. This is like their Pokemon. Is Palworld.
I want to get a shirt with like the main like yellow guy, the Totoro guy. I think he would be great on a shirt.
he would
Put
be.
that guy on
A
the
lot of them
box.
are very punky, like type, like shirt graphic design type.
Oh yeah, I like this guy. This guy's cute.
That guy rules. That's one of my favorite.
Yeah, he's
guys.
pretty cool.
I
Gumas.
got a couple of those. nowadays.
Jolthog. I hate Jolthog though.
Jolthog's really bad.
Jolthog sucks. I hate
Palworld
him.
good. Actually good survival game. Cool, unique mechanics. Actually, every Pokemon pal has a unique interaction you can do that changes gameplay, which is insane. Pokemon would never do that. Game
I
Freak.
hate the face on this one. This face
That one
sucks.
is terrible.
I don't like this.
I
human-ass
like how
face.
ugly it is.
Wow, the guy doing that one
The
clocked
Palworld
out
is
early,
the Pokemon
huh?
killer. The Game Freak deleter. Nintendo is having their power drained from them.
Okay, wait, hold up. There's only one way to check to see if it fully is the Pokemon killer. You have to do the Rule 34 test.
I was gonna say, yeah, how much porn is there?
There's.
Yeah, exactly.
I see a lot
There's
of people
definitely
saying
some.
that there's not a lot, but I saw some just the other day. So.
Okay.
Last I checked, there were 69 entries on the Rule
Hey, but you know
34
what?
site.
Pokemon.
There's
Pokemon won
500.
First Pokemon
There's
came out.
500,000 Pokemon so far for Palworld. There's only 123. Damn. Only 100.
Okay, but listen, when
500,000.
Pokemon Red came out, there was no Rule 34 for it. So.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye.
It's true. But I just like I want to go back to the point like people.
I'm not gonna put this in the fucking video. But look at this.
Wow, I like
This is the
this.
reason
Exactly what I
This is
expected.
This is awful, but I like it. But yeah, people, if you're gonna hate something, just say you hate it. Like, stop making these long ass fucking Twitter threads where you're trying to like accuse it of AI. Like, the AI thing pissed me off because it was clearly just like a cudgel. Because people know that when you say something's AI, you immediately get brownie points for it. And as far as I know, there hasn't been any quote unquote AI used to make this game. I think the studio had used it in like former projects. But like, I don't know. Like, I'm also at that point where like there are a lot of elements of game design that you could lump in with AI. Like, what is it? Ambient occlusion. What's the thing that happened? Like, where the game will automatically generate like footfalls, like characters' footsteps. So when they walk on like, on,
inverse kinetics.
Thank you, inverse kinetic. Like stuff like that is clearly like being done. It's not like being done by a human all the time.
I think
like,
Ubisoft finally started using AI for their step animations because they're not broken in Skull and Bones. Finally.
But I think the real issue is when it like is used to like make art assets. But whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just think like if you're gonna hate Palworld, just hate Palworld. Don't be like, oh, think of the poor Pokemon. Like, I don't give a shit if they're ripping off Pokemon.
Yeah,
like,
I
have
care.
Zero fucking tears for Nintendo Game Freak. I'm also kind of like a bitter former Pokemon fan. Like, I don't know. I watched that new Pokemon Concierge show. That was pretty good. Played the new Pokemon Snap. That was good. That's the way I want to experience Pokemon. Like, I don't want to play the bad games. The games just make me feel mad and like bored. But when I can like watch like, I don't know, like a Metagross or like a Belos, or what is it, Breloom. If I can just watch like Breloom walk around, I'm just like, yes, I love Breloom. I get happy.
I saw this one tweet that really kind of like, oh my god, rolled my eyes at the whole plagiarism thing, because like someone posted like this pal right here, hold up, it's freaking loaded. This one, they posted this one, and
Memorist, I think his name is.
Yeah, and they said they're a combination of 3 different like Pokemon, and it's like, okay, if it's a combination of 3 different, then okay, at that
that's
point,
how
dude,
transformative
okay,
works.
don't fucking worry about it. Then don't worry about it, dude. If it's literally like you have to combine 3 Pokemon to come with it, yeah, it's original at this point, dude. If it's 1 for 1, I see it, but like 2, kind of a stretch, but maybe okay, 3, dude, come on. Come the fuck on, dude. People are really like, what are you smoking, dude?
I feel like society,
one of the more successful designs.
The society owes an apology to Kenji Yamamoto. If you don't know who that is, look him up.
I don't know who that is.
Can you just explain who that is on this podcast, please?
Yeah, he was a composer for the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games.
Oh, fuck yeah. Wonderful man.
Yeah, I love that guy.
He just stole a bunch of music for one of the Dragon Ball games, and it sounded good. And me being like a 9-year-old playing it, I was like, "Yeah, this fucking rips."
What do you mean it's Earth, Wind, and Fire? No, this is Dragon Ball.
Like, I guess I've just become like a lot more anarchic in my older age, but like certain types of like
no
theft.
Loyalty to like Game Freak or Pokemon or Nintendo, so I do not care if they're getting ripped off, dude.
Yes, certain types of theft when you're ripping off like a big fucking corporation, I don't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you can say, I think the best way to describe it is hacky. I think it's just like, it feels a little hacky, but at the same time, like, we're talking about it. This game clearly succeeded in capturing everyone's attention because of what it was doing. So,
right.
LOL. That's all I gotta say.
I'm looking for their little like PAL deck, and do the fucking PALs evolve? Because like,
I don't think they do. I looked it up. Apparently, they don't evolve.
They just
why do they like? Why do some of them just look similar? Then is it just because? Because fuck it.
Families. I don't know.
It's
weird. In the intro trailer, they show like a breeding mechanic where you breed like 2 different mons together, and then like the result is one of the mons, but they have like, or sorry, pals, but they have like the color scheme of the other one, presumably like the abilities. So I don't know.
It's very
PAL fusions. I think there might be PAL fusions.
Yes, I'm researching their Rule 34 and see what I could see if there's anything.
Oh wow! So there's like a whole fucking like Memorist Chris. There's like a whole thing where you like merge them together. Memorist.
Yeah, this is like the whole. Who cares?
Oh, they're just like palette swaps. Yeah, it's probably just a way to like get a different type of a PAL.
This is so weird.
Yeah, the only actual gameplay customization are the skills that you give to them. And it's like an active, passive sort of a skill system. I think you can add up to 3. I always kept one slot open because I thought, well, I don't want to waste my slots.
I don't like this one. I don't like this one you posted.
Look at this fucking guy. His name's like Relaxosaurus. His name is Relaxosaurus.
I hate the name and I hate the design because it feels unrendered. Like he's not fully rendered.
It looks like those peeled Pokemon that one guy does on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like he's missing like too many elements. All right. Any thoughts?
Message from the developers: do not bother peeling this one.
We already this boy's already been done peeled.
Yeah, this is oh man.
So yeah, I already feel like, unlike Spork, whose Spork was very positive, I feel the hook's starting to come loose on me.
Yeah, Palworld better do something crazy. Or like
I was playing Palworld a bit, and as I said, I'm only like 4.5, 5 hours in, and the urge to return to my second playthrough of Lies of P was too great. I just wanted to play Lies of P again rather than Palworld.
It's they gotta think like what can they even do? Like, I mean, is there gyms and what do you like?
You go to the tower. You go to a tower and you fight like a boss, and they're like a gang. But the first girl has like the big Snorlax, or not Snorlax, the big Totoro guy. Hold on. And I mean, she's got like the kind of Coomer design. Like she definitely has that like cute, I am a cute character from a Pokemon game. Make fan art of me.
Let me see. Her. Yeah. I just saw some porn of her right now.
It's cool because like when you fight her, she jumps on the back of Grisbolt, which is her mon, or her pal rather. So she's like, yeah, she rides him and then like shoots you with a fucking gun. Like I love talking about it, but when I was playing it, like my guy was too underleveled and I just got fucked.
I wonder if how crucial is the gun mechanic in Palworld?
I would assume pretty.
It's fairly mandatory.
I haven't unlocked any guns yet, but I have a bow and arrow, and I ran out of bow or arrows before I got to the boss battle, and I was fucked. Like I tried using my like spear to attack it, and Grisbolt just fucking tanked me.
Interesting.
I thought you were gonna say I have a boner for a moment there.
No.
Is Zoe the only other boss in the game? I guess it's like a
maybe
because
it is an early access game.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because
I don't remember coming across
like, other. Yeah, there's no
Oh, there's some girl. There's some like white-haired girl.
Lily Everhart, and there's was it Castaway? Oh wow, that's. There's no image of this character because I guess it's not.
Yeah, I guess because it's still an alpha.
Yeah. Do you think they'll drop the gun mechanic?
They could.
No, they can't. I think it's too
you don't think so?
I hope they double down. Like, they already have my money. Give me more guns. There's this game called Borderlands. Great homework for them to start with. Has a bajillion
it's
guns.
Really interesting because like the DPS, because when you have a gun, like already the damage, like the health values are really high. So I'm assuming that like DPS is going to be really fucking high in this game with like some of the abilities and having guns. It's very interesting. I could see it like backfiring and just everything feeling kind of spongy, but I don't know. It's way too early to tell.
So like interesting. So like the thing I always wondered was like, okay, well if you have the pals fighting, what's the point of the guns then? Unless like
it's because the pals are trying to kill you. Like the enemy pals are targeting you.
Okay, I found this screenshot. I'm like, okay, well now I can see how pals could be useful in a gunfight. Like,
yeah, this is awesome. He literally just fucking blocked, and then that was from the first trailer. She literally like uses him as cover and peeks out and starts shooting. Like the promise is huge.
How many is there like a limit? Is there a limit to how many like pals you can have on you or
So yeah, it's like Pokemon where you can only carry 6 at a time, but you can only have 1 out at a time, which stinks. So that's a kind of a big issue.
Yeah.
But at your base, right now I've upgraded my base to have 7 pals out at an even time, which is another thing that is like, this is what like Pokemon needs to fucking do. Like, have a home base and then have all of your Pokemon hang out and do shit. Because like, it endears you to them. But the problem is with this game, they literally give you an early challenge of like catch 30 Mons. And like, there's so many of the generic ones, you catch a bunch of like shitty chickens and lamb balls. So your base is just full of the same kind of Mon, where it'd be more fun if you had like a bunch of different ones that specialize in different things. That's kind of like where I'm getting to now after putting a few hours into it.
I think they should let you like eat some of them. Like you could cook
you
them.
Kind of can.
Nice.
You can when you can literally kill the chickens and grill them and then feed them to the other chickens.
Nice. So you can't train the chicken to like be stronger and fight, or is it like the
you
game?
Can.
Okay, so all right. the game, does the game more likely encourage you to use the chicken as food than like something to get stronger?
I think so. Well, the chickens also lay eggs, so they have utility there when you keep them out in your base. So they're more of utility than like a battle one. But like, there's what's the fox in Pokemon? The little fox, cute fox one.
The little
Vulpix.
fox. Yeah.
The Vulpix in this game, like when you kill it, it drops like it called like flame organ, and that's like a crafting material. So like all of like the Mons or the pals drop relevant like crafting materials when you kill them. So there is an incentive to go out and just start killing and hunting them.
Interesting.
It's kind of interesting. There's a lot of interesting things there. I just think that me being like an adult male with like a job and like a dog, responsibilities, I just don't have time to like grind it. Games like this, like when I sit down and play for my game time, I want to play like something that I know that I'll be like enjoying.
Yeah, true.
That is how I feel about it. Like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I like some of the mechanics, but with the way that it's designed and the direction they're moving in, I would prefer to play something else. Like, I feel like we have Palworld at home is me booting up Shin Megami Tensei, whichever entry, and just like enjoying the safety of what I already know.
Yeah, like if I was 15 and Palworld came out and it's only like $25, like,
I would be all in.
I would be staying up to like 3 a.m. playing this shit. Like, it has that kind of like hyper addictive loop. But I'm just not 15 anymore, so I don't think
you're not 15 anymore. Damn.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Prime grooming age. Severe disappointment.
Ready to be groomed by a major corporation and their wannabe Pokemon game. Oh my god. I don't really have much to say about like Palworld. I haven't played it. I don't plan to play it.
No.
There's a lot of games I rather play before I get to Palworld. It doesn't really look like it's at any state that I'd be super interested in playing with it.
That's the problem with survival games. It is mostly just, you make your own fun. It's like, whoa, wait. You're the fun maker. What are you talking about? No. We just give you the tools. Go have fun.
Oh, okay. Maybe they should pay me then if I'm making the fun for them. Assholes. I think I'm trying to I think I'm more interested in like what does Palworld need to do to like stay afloat, you know? And I mean we said a handful of ideas earlier. If they could just get an anime rolling, they need to get in on merch or something.
I bet Netflix is already like up their ass right now asking for exclusive rights.
Yeah. Oh my god, we can have the new Pokemon. Like, I'm sure that conversation's been had in a few boardrooms this morning.
Yeah. Like, it seems like people are really fucking with Palworld. I mean, it's like the most downloaded game on Steam right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. It just like it shows that like there is this humongous like want for a kind of game like this, and Nintendo just doesn't. It's interesting, like. So I have kind of a funny theory that I've bounced around in my head a little bit. People like to shit on a lot of like art that is quote unquote like not good, but at the end of the day, like it is often something that is extremely successful that might not be to your taste, but it really is to like someone's taste. Like everyone loves shitting on Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld is such an easy target. It's so easy to point at his art and make fun of him. But back in the day, when Mr. Liefeld was putting out his comics, it was shit that kids really fucking liked. Like, you cannot pretend like there wasn't a humongous portion of readers that were extremely attracted to this style. Even though we can make fun of it now, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I'm seeing that with this. I'm seeing, like, you can always point to, like, what's that one common meme everyone says, like, girls media always get shit on the most, like things like Twilight, things that girls like, and it's the same shit. It's like, this is something that, while maybe you don't like it for whatever reason, there's a humongous demand for it. There's a huge market for it. Nintendo has no interest in catering to that market, so there's gonna be someone else that comes in and fucking gets it.
Exactly.
So what you're telling me, Protus, is that Skibidi toilet fans deserve rights?
Fucking
I'm just
100%.
For years now, Nintendo has failed to recognize the Skibidi toilet market, and
it's embarrassing.
These developers come in. What's the name of the fucking company's name? Whatever.
Is it the Fuck Boom that does the Skibidi toilet?
No, the
you're talking about Palworld. They're called Pocket something.
Pocket Pear. That's an awful name, but whatever.
Pocket Pear is the funniest name.
I think
keep it next to your pocket.
I'm imagining.
I think that's their biggest weakness. The biggest weakness of Palworld is the naming conventions. Other than that, it seems like it could be fine. They need to just add in more shit, you know? Like, maybe they'll... What's the thing they do where, like, they'll drop, like, events of, like, oh, everyone has to defeat this gym leader or something. Mm-hmm. Can you interact with other people in Palworld?
Yeah, there's multiplayer.
Interesting.
I haven't tried it yet, but... Yeah, they should start having like fucking like marshmallow concerts or like fucking Deadmau5 concerts in Palworld, like in Fortnite. Like what you're saying, like
they gotta add Travis Scott.
Yeah, they need to like position themselves like how these pseudo metaverses have positioned themselves.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Palworld could stay afloat, because it seems like it's having a very strong start.
I'm rooting for it. I'm fucking rooting for Palworld. I think it represents like something very like what I was mentioning earlier. Like there's like a very like a huge demand for this kind of thing that like nobody else was providing. And I say fuck them. Like if you're not, I hate to sound like a capitalist, but like fuck, if you're not gonna fucking give people what they want, then fuck you. Let the fucking shitty guys that put like lighter fluid in their wine that they come in, like they're like, as long as it leads to something better and interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got no loyalty to whatever, so Palworld sinking or swimming doesn't affect my life at all. I don't really care if it. I mean, it'd be interesting how if this does like negatively affect Pokemon in some way. Everyone's like demanding for Palworld merch, and they're tired of Pokemon merch, you know.
Oh yeah, this actually
I
wouldn't
this
adhere
guy.
to the normal standards that Nintendo operates by, because Nintendo never has to be worried about competition, because you can't really do Mario. No one really tries to do Mario. But with Palworld, Nintendo is beholden to the demands of the Pokemon Company, who probably would look at like merch sales and stuff and say, "What the fuck are you doing? Put a Pokemon on the PC. What am I paying you for?"
Right, exactly. It's we'll see. I'm hoping that Nintendo does react in some way. Imagine that there's like guns in the next Pokemon game.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
That'd be so fucking awesome.
Nothing would be funnier than Nintendo learning the exact wrong lessons from this. Like,
so they want to shoot the Pikachus, huh?
They want to kill Pikachu, hey?
Oh well. Here you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm extremely skeptical of anyone that tells me like the new Pokemon game is good, just because like, I don't know. People were telling me Sword and Shield was good, and that was a rough one. Yeah, that was the first Pokemon game that I legitimately like dropped, like hard dropped. I was like, I can't play this.
Yeah, I've heard that's a very common story. Like, I think it's just that I think Pokemon is just like in a tough spot where like they have to cater to like children, but their like nostalgic adult audience is like really wants like give us something more adult. And it's kind of like that same problem with like Star Wars, where it's like a franchise for little stupid babies.
Yeah.
and all the adults, like, I mean, who are little stupid babies on the inside, like want something more, you know.
Which is ironic
at
because
the end,
it's a ripoff of a popular Japanese film and like westerns.
it's like three different fucking things, just
Yeah.
like Palworld is. It's Star Wars is Palworld in a way.
Except better and worse at the same time.
I am liking the fucking someone. I just saw this meme right now because I've been getting a lot of Palworld stuff. This is the Pokemon killer meme. Like, oh, Palworld's gonna be the Pokemon killer. I think I'll say this, like, Palworld has the balls to be, fuck it, just rip them off. Fuck it.
Yeah.
All
like,
these
like what you were saying, like, yeah, all these other ones, it's like they're trying to like reinvent the wheel. Like, Palworld's like, no, the wheel's fine. Like, let's just take the wheel and put it on our car.
Oh yeah, Yokai Watch was way too different.
Yeah, yokai. It's like, yeah, it's got to be like simpler. You know, people, they really like fumble that.
Yokai Watch's designs were like repellent to me. I really did not like them.
I kind of liked them. Like, they were very grungy, despite being very overtly inspired by Japanese folklore. They knew how to push it a bit further, which is good because a lot of those particular types of ghosts got overused.
It's funny to me that like Yokai Watch feels like it would have been more at home in the 90s with like, I don't know, like maybe a little bit more of like a gross outy kind of aesthetic than it ended up going with like the cutesy.
I remember there was like they were trying to localize Gigi no Kentaro. Do you know that series?
Yeah.
It's like Graveyard Boy Kentaro. They were trying to like localize him, and his whole thing is that he's like a yokai. He's like half yokai or something, right?
Something like that.
He has a bunch of like yokai adventures. Like, this is like from the original manga, right? And I think this like poster is from their last like anime adaptation that was like a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
But I think back in the 90s they were trying to like localize them, and they were using and I have no evidence for this, but I assume since they're yokai, they try to like find like a name closer to yokai, and they use the word yucky, and they called it like Lucky Yucky.
Oh my god.
And I remember bookmarking like a couple, because there was like little pamphlets that would describe all the yokais as little monsters, right? And I had it bookmarked, but I can't find it right now. But it's crazy when that happens. Going back to Pokemon killers, I'm looking through like the Temten like monsters, and it's like they look really fucking ugly to me.
Yeah, I just watched a trailer earlier when we were talking about that, and like those designs, they just kind of slid right off my skull.
Yeah, they look just like I think earlier I said the phrase white noise. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, they just don't work for me, you know? I don't like them. They got too many like I think Palworld was smart to like, oh yeah, just fucking copy the Pokemon. just do it.
I haven't looked at it in a while, but Temtem has that air of trying to be too cutesy and cozy.
Yeah, it's like too kind of like soft looking. I don't know. Kind of
like like in Palworld, the pals will fucking kill you and rip you to shreds.
I think the pals are more simpler than the Temtens have like too much going on for them, right?
Yeah, it must be really hard to thread that needle. Like a lot of Pokemon designs are so simple that it's hard to like do something similar without it looking like a ripoff.
Right, exactly. I think all these like I'm looking back at all the other, like, okay, if they have Monster Hunter, they have Yokai and Digimon. I think a big problem with all of those is that the designs are just kind of too complicated, you know, and like Pokemon hit that like I think the original Pokemons are very simple, and it also has the nostalgia attached to it, and sure, so does Digimon, right? But I think Digimon. I think what was kind of like weird about Digimon, the impression I got from the anime, because that's the only thing I know from like the original anime, is that you only get one Digimon and that's it. And it's like, well, Pokemon gives you more of them. They give you 7, you know.
Yeah.
You get, right.
6.
So
you get 6.
You get 6, and then Digimon, like, sure, you could switch back and forth, right? But like, I don't know. There was something about like, in Pokemon when they evolve, that's showing your progress. You know.
Well, the thing
like,
with Digimon is that
now.
The Digivolution of your Digimon was entirely dependent on somewhat things that you do directly, but also indirectly. So, like, if your little blob guy digivolves into like that green shit monster, then it's like, oh, you're a terrible parent. But then if you get like one of the staple Digimon, it's like, hey, you're doing something right, kid.
I think I think that's a big thing I didn't like about like Digimon was like, wow, I don't want to don't show me a bad thing when I'm not good at it. You know,
Yeah.
like the most like in Pokemon, you never like, you know, the Pokemon don't turn into like pieces of shit if you suck. You just stay stuck in a place. Your progress just gets stuck because you're not that good, and that's all you need. You don't need to have your Pokemon like Pikachu doesn't turn into Poopachu. You know, fucking.
I like the idea of Poopachu.
Right.
All right, I do have another topic that
All
I feel
right.
like we can dive into.
All right, go. Wait, before you say anything, I was trying to say this earlier. Now it's prime time to get in on the Pokemon ripoff games. My suggestion is that they gotta hire my buddy Bromo Jumbo, because he's mastered the art of like capturing that like simplicity about Pokemon. Like he's mostly known for drawing like Fakeamons. Like he drew this, right?
Oh yeah, those look good.
Yeah, his art is like really fucking good. Like, and
these are really good.
He's really good at like just capturing that like simple style, and like, you know,
that octopus looking guy is very quality.
Like, it's the smart move should have always been to like make the Pokemon ripoff and hire this guy just to design them all. You know, that's what I would have done.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone else is dumb and stupid except for me.
And people like this, I feel like they have a really strong sense of what feels Pokemon and what doesn't. So you could even like tap into their ability to like give you something a little bit outside the box. Yeah. Because someone like this clearly understands what goes into a good Pokemon design.
Like look at this. This looks fucking cool. As like another evolution really cool. For that one.
I like that.
Yeah. It's just so like, come on now. Come on. This should have not been hard. You know, this should have been easy.
Come on.
We need remake Palworld, hire this guy, then boom, it's over. Pokemon is killed. The real Pokemon killer has arrived.
It's about fucking time.
I want Palworld to be the Pokemon killer, not because I think it's good, but because I think it'd be the funniest if that was the Pokemon killer. Oh boy. All right, so what's this other topic you want to bring up?
All right, so there's like some really fucking like insane garbage discourse going on that I've seen a lot on. Apparently it's been happening on Twitter, but I've been seeing like the videos, the reaction videos on YouTube. So I guess ultimately what this comes down to is there was a chapter of some manga that got an AI translation or an AI assisted translation.
Oh yeah.
And everybody, all the chuds were cheering because they hate localizers. And there's so many like fucking videos that I've seen lately about people like picking specific like localizers on Twitter and like bullying them because they don't like what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And like the crazy thing that I keep seeing is there is an admittedly like pretty bad localization scene in one of the early episodes of Dragon Maid, the pedophile show.
Nice.
Where they make like a joke about like the patriarchy or something. Whatever. It's like a blink and you'll miss it like joke.
Yeah.
They're all blink and you miss it stuff.
Yeah.
These chuds cannot fucking let it go. Like I looked it up. That episode came out in like 2017.
Oh my god!
And these fucking chuds put these videos out where they'll be like this is the shit they do, and they show that, which albeit is a pretty extreme example of localization, one that is not very common. And like ultimately what I think is just insane is that you have this group of people and like somebody quite accurately did like a little like timeline of it, and these basically are just the same Gamergate people that have just kind of stuck around. It's just these like very like anti-social justice people who are like trying to get like localizers fired so that they can get AI translations of their pedophile mangas because it's like in their mind they don't see a problem with it being AI, like with translation being done with AI. And it's fucking insane. And to me, that just proves that they're not actually reading any of this shit. They are just doing this like moral grandstand.
Yeah.
Because if you've actually read an AI translation of something, you would understand that like localization is not just like putting like patriarchy jokes in there. Like you actually have to like translate something to make it land in another. I don't know. This has just made me fucking furious. I keep seeing this shit everywhere.
I keep trying to impart to people that I know who like fall for these outrage tricks. The people that are making these videos, and it should be obvious because they keep retreading the same topics on every consecutive video, they're not your friend. They're putting these things out just to like get your attention. Like you were saying, they're probably not even actually reading this stuff. But people who like are actually fans of these things, they get all wrapped up in it. They're like, oh no, Dragon Maid is being ruined. I had no idea until this guy told me. And it's like, don't worry about it. If you're me, you would see something like that and you would say, hey, they should double down. I think it would be funny if the pedophile dragon is also a radical feminist. Wouldn't that be a funny subversion? She should be dripping that into every bit of her dialogue while molesting that little boy.
I think that is like the funniest irony of it all is like, I mean, you can say that there's a lot of, I mean, I like Dragon Maid. Don't get me wrong. I will fucking.
I'm the biggest pedophile dragon fan.
I like Dragon Maid.
Well, the thing is, they're not all pedophiles. It's just like that one lady. There's also the more fluffy looking one. She has a girl who likes her, but like the girl is 7 years old and the dragon is like dragon age.
It's bad. A Dragon Age Origins. I think is how old she is actually.
Didn't they introduce like one with like big titties that looks like a child?
Yeah.
That's
it's
crazy.
whatever. Like, but the whole thing, like that character in particular, is like canonically like all she does is like tease like an underage boy with her giant breasts. Like it is an extremely uncomfortable. I mean, as I said, I like Dragon Maid, but like there are scenes that I would skip if I ever revisit it. I would skip like any scene with that character, any scene with like the other child. Like it's like uncomfortable. So yeah, I think it's funny that they turn that scene, but no, it just becomes this like really tired retread of the woke translators are furious that they're being replaced by AI. It's like they should be like. We shouldn't be fucking replacing translation with AI.
Yeah, the manga that you had mentioned is the Ancient Magus Bride, which you kind of would want a deliberate hand in translating because I'm sure machine learning translation for that is going to suck. It's going to be very dry. And you need you want the emotion to be conveyed in a story like that. It's like a romance or something.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not a romance. Like there's like a... I mean, it's different. Like I speak German, so like English and German are rather similar in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. So it can kind of make a lot of sense when you're looking at something and just translating it directly. But like Japanese, just for one example, like the pronouns in Japanese are like so different. Like, I mean, people already get like mad when they hear the word pronouns.
Yeah.
It's like personal, like in English, we don't really have differentiating personal pronouns. Like that's not really a thing. Like it's like me, like, or I, but in Japanese, there's just like dozens of maybe not dozens, but there's a multitude of personal pronouns that you can use for tons of different reasons. And it just to kind of connect this with JoJo in the current arc of JoJo, there's a character who is extremely female looking, presents female, even like has been described to have gotten surgeries to look more feminine. but everyone refers to that character with like male pronouns or like more male. Like the main character refers to the character as their brother because they're biologically brothers.
That caught my eye, and I'm like, wait, what's going on?
I know, yeah. And apparently, and this is something that you don't get with English, you need like a translator or someone to like clarify. The pronouns that character uses are from my understanding, I don't speak Japanese, they're a pronoun that like effeminate men use, or people who are men or identify as masculine but have like a very strong like feminine identity as well. So it's kind of like, I mean, if you understand what I'm saying.
The femboy pronoun.
Basically. And I just think that's very interesting. And like, that's just one example of like many different things. For like, I don't even know Japanese, and I'm still aware that there's all these different like things like idioms as well. Like you need to have a human translate an idiom. Like people like all that ChatGPT is just a large language model that just uses like predictive text to make things sound good. We should not be like expecting things like ChatGPT to take over translation and everything like this.
That's like,
it's not good.
That's what I'm hearing is like happening a lot more, that like now translators are just hired to like edit like ChatGPT. Like that's like the direction, and it's like it's dumb because like they don't even like edit it. They have to like start from the ground up because like what they're given is like slop, you know?
Yeah.
And it's so
it's just completely contextless, and yeah,
exactly. And it's like, oh, but they get paid less to just edit, so it's like they're getting paid less to just do the job they were already doing anyway, you know? And it's like it's a nightmare. It's shit.
I don't know how long Ancient Magus Bride's been going on, but imagine there's probably like in the triple digits of chapters. Like bringing an AI on to translate chapter 132 of Ancient Magus Bride.
Oh yeah, it's a downgrade.
How is it going to have any context for like anything beforehand? Like, you know what I mean? Like you need to have like a person involved. Like we can't trust machines like that yet. I just hate this idea that people are like happy about AI taking jobs. It's like, it is just the ultimate like spite pill that people have taken now.
Right, exactly.
It's a way to own the libs, I guess. That's ultimately where we are.
I think I was thinking about how like conservatives have really like gone all in for like AI art, and that just goes back to like, well, here's the reason why conservative art is never really good most of the time, and why they like suck at it. Like they don't really care about making it, you know. Yeah, and they suck, and they're shit. There, I said it.
One thing that comes up in those videos that I feel like should have just been the focus of those videos is that they'll have tweets being like, look at this disgusting thing this translator said. And it'll be some like forgettable but mildly annoying stuff, like someone saying, oh boy, you won't believe what I snuck into this episode of My Senpai Doesn't Know That I Eat Salt every day. Like it's always like seasonal rubbish you wouldn't really take a double look at. It's like, oh, okay, I guess that's there. And so, you know, these things are being churned out almost like a, at a rate that is impossible. So you could see someone taking some liberties with the localization in some cases. And even still, it would be like small changes to a piece of dialogue that's only there for like a millisecond. And these people still freak out. And then they look at their tweets, and the tweets are justification that this is a deliberate thing and not a consequence of the system itself.
There was an incredible burn of, so one of these people, let's call them the pro AI people. One of these pro AI people made a comment about they fucking ruined the scene. Like it's probably the Dragon Maid scene again, because you will see that fucking Dragon Maid scene everyone
brings it up. It's their only hill to die on, because if you bring out like
it really is.
That scene in Prison School where they like deliberately say Gamergate, you know, that kind of like invalidates their argument. It's like, oh, okay, you're just butthurt. You're just a loser.
But so
they talked about you in the anime.
Yeah, some guy brought up that example, the same one again, and they were like, oh, wow, they fucking don't care about anime. They just shit on this by changing it. And then somebody went through, they posted like dozens of pictures where they went through their this person's entire tweet history and just searched, like, use like the Twitter search function to search for like any name of like a classic anime that's from before like the year 2012. And it was like constantly like no tweets found, no tweets found, no tweets found, like these like amazing classic anime like Gurren Lagann, like fucking I don't even know, like shit from like the 90s.
Vandred.
Yeah, like the whole point, they were just like, what do you even watch? Like, do you even care about anime? Like, you haven't like once ever talked about like any like series that's like people care about or enjoy. But no, it's just this like seasonal garbage that you're defending, kind of thing.
That's fucking funny. So they did that. They did that to the guy who got mad, right? Like that's who.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't explain that.
No,
right.
I got you.
Yeah, it's like it's funny because they use the word tourist a lot. That's like you're a tourist, like you're not here. But I feel like those people are like the real tourists.
Yeah.
Like there was kind of in that same thread, people were talking about like somebody tried to shit on like like trans people only care about this kind of shit or whatever. It's like all this SJW trans agenda they're trying to insert in the anime, and then like so many comments were just like, all the trans women I know only watch like 90s and 80s OVAs that no one's ever heard of. Like it's like this is not at all like the seasonal anime grind is not at all like what you is like important.
Like,
it's not as important.
It is a grind. Like some shows I just skip outright because it's like, oh, the ancient crystal is being controlled by the mumblecore people, and I'm like, that's too much. You're not even describing the show.
My sister's pussy is being controlled by an ancient crystal.
My sister's ancient pussy
is being controlling the crystals.
That actually sounds like it could be interesting. Someone make that.
Yeah, these sound pretty good actually. No, it's just anime is in a really like terrible state currently. I would say from a if we were to like average out the number of like good shows versus bad, I would say it's probably like at the worst it's ever been. Just knowing how much fucking shit comes out every season.
The problem is that it's subjective. Like some show that's absolutely mid is probably someone's favorite.
And that's like the rite of passage we have when we're like 12 and we start watching anime.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you watch Parasite when you're like 13 years old and you're like, wow, this is like the greatest shit I've ever seen. And then like a few years later, you forget that you even watched Parasite.
I would never forget. I read the manga when I was a kid. That guy is one of my favorite authors.
Oh, I picked the wrong one. I shouldn't have said that. That's actually really interesting. I didn't know though. The whole Parasite thing is interesting. How the manga was written in the 80s, I think, right? It's
something like that.
I remember that. I think Hayao Miyazaki was like interested in adapting that into an anime.
Oh damn!
Yeah, but
that's really interesting.
Yeah, it never came into fruition.
Imagine Ghibli Parasite. I don't think the world would recover from that.
I can't even imagine it, honestly.
I think I just saw I hate to get back into the Palworld topic, but I just saw a tweet right now that like someone like posted like this meme about like Nintendo defenders and how they're reacting to like Palworld, right? And I'll post it right now. And someone was saying that like someone quote tweeted this by saying that we do need to like fight back against the Palworld plagiarism because they could do this to corporation, they could do this to indie teams, and it's like they were already doing this to indie teams.
Yeah,
like that, like just because like you just like I don't know, just like if you look at it negatively with like Palworld, like I don't know, like I cannot picture Nintendo not being above that, like though.
Yeah.
Right, and it's so like I don't know.
A good example that has come up is Vampire Survivors. Once everyone realized that, oh, this is actually a popular gameplay loop that is easy to make, everyone started ripping them off. And my favorite Vampire Survivors ripoff is a adaptation of the Universal Renfield movie, but it's just Vampire Survivors with those characters and that aesthetic, but like played up. It's all very like pink and smoky. It's got electronic music, but that is an example of like a larger corporation taking the work of a independent developer and then saying, well, here's our version.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm not.
I don't know.
I
think
I'm not too like I don't know. Like I wouldn't imagine a corporation like Nintendo being above just plagiarizing an indie team. Like,
yeah.
I don't. I guess they've never done it as far as I know, but
usually they work with
silence,
the smaller developers.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. I think though, what I mean just needs to happen is that Palworld needs to be caught on with like the normal crowd, like the regular people, and then it's like, then the shit like this won't really matter, you know? Like, this isn't a problem, right?
When you can play Palworld on your phone, then it'll be over for Nintendo.
Oh yeah, can you?
Yeah, that's kind of what we mentioned earlier. Like, going
Can
back
you
to
play
what we
Fortnite on your phone?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
Oh wow, it's Jover.
Yeah, like the whole thing about Palworld, like just embracing everything, embracing the guns, embracing the Pokemon. I think that's kind of like what you need to do in today's market. Like, you just kind of have to embrace everything. Holding back, like all these Pokemon games, it feels like they're kind of like forever. They've always been like holding back. Like they'll introduce like one new mechanic and then they'll pull it back and then they'll introduce another one. But with this, they're just like, yeah, no, fuck it. We just do everything. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, polish does not fucking matter. Like, we don't care if things look good. Like, just do it and get people in. And I honestly respect that a little bit.
Yeah, just fuck it. Like, who cares?
I think it's just a very interesting like success story. I'm so interested to see what happens in the next few months.
It's gonna be very interesting if Palworld is successful. I think. I don't know if it'll lead to anything good. I mean, to be honest, I don't think nothing's gonna really fucking change. I don't really give a fuck if Pokemon dies. I don't really care if it keeps going. Who cares? Right?
Isn't there an Ark movie coming out with like Vin Diesel or something?
Oh shit, really?
Well, isn't he in the game? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think he is. I think they're adding I think there's a movie. Oh, he's in Ark 2. But I think there's an Ark game.
Are they still doing
or an Ark movie?
Vin Diesel stuff? He got like allegations against him recently, I heard.
Oh really?
Yeah. Hate to see it.
Yeah. I don't know.
He seemed like the last guy to
that.
have allegations, but I guess no one is
No one's safe. Not even Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, exactly. The grave couldn't save him. I've been
Next we're gonna hear about fucking Einstein.
It's funny. You know what's funny? Like Vizzy Pop haters. Vizzy Pop haters are funny.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, I just feel like all this shit's like sour grapes. Like,
yeah,
you're just mad. You're finding a reason to be mad. Just be mad.
It's very I call
Mauled.
anti-Vizzy poppers, as I like to call them. Right?
Is that out yet? Is that?
It's been out. Hazbin Hotel.
Yep.
I need to check that out.
Need to check it out. All right,
I watched the first episode yesterday, and it was pretty okay. I think I like Alistair.
Did they fix like the compression on his voice? I really didn't like the compression.
I think they changed his voice actor, didn't they?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think
they changed almost all of their voice actors.
They changed a lot. I think isn't Angel Dust the only one they kept or something? Or hold up.
It's funny because I remember there being a mini controversy when that happened online. Just because people
Angel Dust Hazbin Hotel is the first thing that pops up, not the drug.
Nature is healing, because I know everybody was like, please bring Stamper back. We want Stamper back in Hazbin Hotel.
Okay, Angel Dust was switched.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the reason why they did it was they actually got like actual people who are like theatrical performers that can like sing and perform.
That makes sense.
Whereas like I know most of the original cast was like, I think Tomar did a voice, if I recall correctly.
Most popular question is Angel Dust a boy or a girl?
Yes.
Well, they do refer to a tuft of fur on their chest that look like tits, but they don't call them tits, so it's either or.
I mean, I think I'm fine with that. Like, they keep it vague. Oh my god, what the fuck?
It is really hilarious. So you can type in Angel Dust and it's fucking Hazbin Hotel fandom wiki.
I was looking for like the development section of Angel Dust on here, and it's fucking long. Oh my god.
Apparently, Keith David is in the show too. I think he's the winged cat guy.
He plays Husk, and I hate Husk's design. He feels so over designed, and that's saying a lot.
Is he the bartender?
Yeah.
That one doesn't work for me.
That one they really just need.
His performance in that first episode is kind of dry. Apparently, he has a song, so I'm curious to see what Keith David's singing sounds like.
I actually am very curious about that.
He does get a song later. I remember I saw this one tweet where people were complaining about, like, why did they make the angels act like assholes in Hell of a Boss? It doesn't make any sense if people are trying to, like, get into heaven, but everyone there is like an asshole. And it's like, do you not think they're trying to say something with that? You know, you don't think there's like maybe some commentary? Maybe this juxtaposition is saying something, right? And it might not be the most complex, like, deep thing ever, but, like, you know, there might be something going on.
I was raising my eyebrow a lot when they introduced Adam, because he is just like a generic asshole. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? That's not the guy. That's not the guy.
I can't lie. I'm very inspired by Vizzy's art style, especially the Cyclopses. We love a good Cyclops.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot you're.
I love Nifty.
You have been. You've been like not up and up on your Cyclops love recently. I noticed, because I totally forgot that was your thing for a while.
That is my thing. I need to. Maybe I'll draw some more Nifty fan art. Nifty is so cute.
You've been denying that and just doubling down on huge women recently.
We love big women.
And by you doubling down, I mean, like, every time I find a huge woman picture, I just at you. Brothers, look at this.
There's a one Polish guy. He draws the women so nicely.
That Polish guy is great. I think they're working on a dating sim with the giant woman. Right.
I love that guy so much. I wish I could say his name.
I wish he could love me back.
Yeah, I need to I was drawing a bit more. I need to draw more and more, though.
You might be the first person I heard saying that they like. Okay, you're not the first, but with most people, I hear that they really do not like the art style and has been. And I don't hate the art style. I just think I've gotten to the point where, like, I don't even think I necessarily hate too many art styles. I just think they exist, you know.
I kind of like the Hazbin Hotel art style. A lot of the characters remind me of Invader Zim, which is a stylization that kind of like has been absent from animation.
It's a very post DeviantArt art style, I would say, right? And yeah, it's interesting. I like that. I like that finally a show did that art style. You know,
it's a far cry from the foul-mouthed baby from the Hell of a Boss pilot. That kid looked like he was in the wrong show.
Oh,
I remember that. Hell of a Boss I had to bounce off of.
Hell of a Boss kind of like dropped its premise like towards the end of that first season. Because they weren't doing that shit no more, and they got more into like world building.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're like canonically, they're not in the same universe as Hazbin Hotel.
That's fine.
Yeah, and
I don't give
which
a
I
shit.
think makes sense because there's like all this like weird lore with like the rulers of hell in Hell of a Boss that doesn't directly contradict Hazbin, but I don't know. There's It's weirdly all over the place. Although what's funny is that if you look at the pilot for Hazbin, you could see like a proto like Blitzo design in the crowd.
I remember noticing that recently.
Like, oh, it's Blitz, oh, it's Blitz, oh, I love Blitz.
It's funny, like looking at the Hell of a Boss cast versus Hazbin Hotel. I feel like Hazbin Hotel does a better job at like giving them all. They all look like they feel like they fit in together, but they're different enough that they're distinct. But I can't look at these. Like, there's two guys in Hell of a Boss that look identical to me. Like
the ones that are dating. Is that
are they dating? I honestly didn't know
Molly
that.
and Mindy.
No, I'm thinking of the boys. The main guy,
Oh,
the guy that's
Blitzo.
voiced
Oh,
by
because they're
Zim.
like the same species, I guess, in hell or whatnot, right?
Yeah, and there's also a furry. That's kind of distracting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
It just doesn't really like fit with anything else.
I think I think they wanted to do a lot of like lore stuff because that just kind of like that's kind of like the trap that happens when you make certain like pieces of media like that. I'm not trying to compare myself to Busy Pop, but like with Bongo and Luna, then just developing a fucking like lore and story and stuff. It's just this thing that just fucking happens because you want to start making lines, you want to start making like an outline and ropes to kind of like follow to make it easier to write, so you do eventually start writing like lore and like things that like build the consistency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the temptation is like overwhelming too after a while when you're like so attached to these characters that you're just like, oh, I want to like give them all this shit. Where it's like, or so attached to the universe rather. Where like, to me, I don't know, Hazbin Hotel, I don't really care about the fucking world at all, frankly. And I think this was like a big issue. I think the premise is like very unclear in like the pilot. Like,
oh yeah,
I couldn't quite tell like what the show was about. Like, other than
it kind of just feels like things
around.
are happening.
The first episode of the new show more cleanly lays it out. Like the stakes are realer.
Yeah, it definitely needed that. Like when I look at like a pilot, like an indie animation pilot, I'm not gonna like bitch about that just because I think that there's so much to Hazbin Hotel, like that I don't really care about like, oh, the plot's like hard to understand. Like it's not like why I'm there. But if you're doing a show, it's like it's gonna be hard to care about it after like a few episodes if the plot doesn't make sense.
Right, exactly.
Now, what I'm really excited for is the return of Murder Drones.
Oh, the real Kino.
Now we're talking.
Did I Oh wait, I mentioned this in the last podcast, but really quickly again, I showed a friend of mine who's never on the internet. Like, he hates social media. He's never online or anything, and he's not lying too because he'll be lost in all the stupid little internet references I make. That being said, I showed him Digital Circus and he did not like it. He's like, and he was telling me like, why would anyone like this?
Wow.
and then I showed him Pibby and he's all like, oh yes, this is good. Yes. And I was like, damn, I was amazed because I was like, interesting.
I had kind of a similar. So my friend is not like, he's on Twitter and all, but he's very much like not in this area. So I'd mentioned Pomni or whatever to him, and he's like, "Oh, I've seen the Jester. What's it from?" And I was like, "Oh." So I like sat him down while we were in Japan, mind you. We could have been out doing Japanese things. Wow. But I was like, no, we were sitting down.
I would have been mad about that if I was.
No, we were tired. It was like we were like about to go to bed. But so I made him watch Digital Circus, and he definitely did kind of like it. And then I was like, all right, you need to see like the dark side of indie internet, indie animation. And I showed him Murder Drones.
and he was like,
because I knew he would hate it like instantly, and I was right.
I would put Murder Drones in that like post DeviantArt art style too, because it looks
definitely.
It's like definitely there. It's like
I've seen so many kids that draw like that, but like it's not CG and animated.
I remember when I first watched that first episode of Murder Drones, the only episode I've seen and the only episode I'm ever gonna watch of Murder Drones.
Oh, you're missing out. The lore really kicks in after episode 4.
Man, shut up. But like when I was seeing the Murder Drones, I was like, God, I swear I've seen these characters on DeviantArt before. I swear I've seen like these kind of like simplistic robot designs on DeviantArt. I think we live in a beautiful time. It's all the DeviantArt people are finally getting animated series the way it was supposed to be.
Honestly, I fucking love it. I think it's like back to what I was saying before about how like people there is like a huge market for this kind of shit. I mean, look at how big Digital Circus was. Like that is not something that you would see get put out by like any big studio. Same with like Murder Drones. Murder Drones is like embarrassing and cringy, but like it's that way like by design. And people fucking love it. Like, Murder Drones fans will fucking kill you. Like, that's how strong they
What's
are.
Cartoon Network versus Toon Disney, that's old news. We want to see the DeviantArt versus Newgrounds animation discourse.
I made this one tweet that people were kind of confused by, but someone was saying that like, oh man, I'm tired of Has-Been Hotel should not be the face of indie animation. It should be like Worthy Kids, and it's like, what a redundant ass tweet, dude. What the most redundant ass tweet I ever fucking heard? Because it's like, do you not stop and think for a second and think like, maybe people are talking about Has-Been Hotel right now because that's just the relevant thing right now, instead of acting like, oh, this is now the new law. This is now the new god of the universe.
I can't talk about Big Top Burger every day of my life.
We talked about Big Top Burger and we're done and we moved on until he makes more episodes, right? I mean, we talked about the fucking Wizard Ale thing that he made. That was really neat and whatnot.
I would want more episodes, though. Like, that last episode did such a huge lore dump. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm,
what do you mean it's over? Where's the rest?
I love the cats lore, like how the cats, the fucking like Jellicle Ball theme plays.
Yeah. I think that's fucking awesome. But yeah, once Worthy pops more stuff out, we'll talk about it instead of being this like whole like ass like stupid ass contest. Oh my god.
We can enjoy both.
I hate it out here. Worthy is on.
It's just so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
People are just dumb. They're always just making tweets. I hate Twitter. I think Twitter's really bad.
What? No way. I've never heard that take before.
It's like, maybe if we can't as humans condense our thoughts down in tiny bite size.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's not how
I've been saying this for years. Microblogging sucks.
Twitter bad, and maybe we should drink like, I don't know, water every day at least.
Drink belch.
We should drink beer every day, just like my father.
You know who's happy? Homer Simpson. Be like Homer.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Did you see that one clip that was going around about the Simpsons where like they added like the Homer woohoo sound so it doesn't seem like he's homophobic? Like in the clip, it's like
what?
There's a clip of the gay pride parade walking by in front of their house. And then Homer's like, oh, the gay pride parade. And then when it cuts to the gay pride parade, he's off screen, but they add the woohoo in the background to make it seem like, oh, he's actually excited for seeing this. He's not homophobic.
That's really
funny.
It's
funny because it's like, oh, like a couple of seasons ago, he was like very scared that Bart was like gay, and he was trying to like scare the gay out of him. I remember. Oh my god.
Does Homer still refer to Bart as boy?
Boy. No, I don't think so. Oh, Marge, but the boy. The boy. Bart Simpson, stop it right now. The fuck did I get? I had another thing in the back of my mind that I was gonna say. It wasn't about
Palworld 2.
Palworld, how I'm excited for Palworld 2.
Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry.
Mm-hmm. I guess I could say this. I could say this, but you're not gonna see it till like maybe a couple months later. But I think it's happening. We're back.
Ooh.
We're back, Bongo Chads. Bongo and Luna's coming back.
Hell yeah.
And I know I said that like months ago, but this time it's actually true because I have something about the original Bongo and Luna is that a lot of those comics I was drawing while I was at work because it gave me enough free time and I would just like rough drafting out comic ideas. Well, now I'm in another position where I could do that and the ideas are coming back. It's
awesome.
The perfect scenario. So it's like, oh wow, I got new ideas for Bongo and Luna. I'll tell you this, I'm not going to continue the storyline of the original comic. That's getting dropped. You're never going to see the end of that. This time, the new angle, it's just going to be more just comedy based, and there's no real continuity, but it's more like I'm aiming to make it more like a goofy Yuri comic, really. You
Hell
know?
Yeah.
The people love a goofy Yuri.
Bongo and Luna, they're gay and they're dating. It's not queer baiting no more. They're in a relationship now. But it's kind of like, you ever seen that one picture of the Nikocado avocado videos where it's like, we broke up. We got back together.
Yeah.
Our marriage is ruined. We fixed our marriage. It's like that. That's their relationship. It's very toxic. It's gonna be a very toxic, goofy Yuri relationship, right? And I already have like 11 comics, like rough draft. I just gotta draw them now.
Damn.
And what I'm mostly gonna do though is just draw. I'm not gonna post none of them until I draw all 11, because I'm gonna just dump a lot of them on my Patreon to like incentivize people to join that, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
And then I'll slowly start posting the Bongo Lunas publicly, slowly, not all the way. I also have Bite the Bullet, and I'm gonna start making my own website that I've been finagling with for a while.
Oh yeah, I saw the prototype you posted. I didn't say anything because I couldn't think of anything constructive, but it is a good start.
It's very bones basic. Like click on this, Jim, and explore my website.
Ooh.
What do you see? Please describe the things you see on my website.
All right, so I clicked on cheesymanfredo.neocities.org, and it is literally baby's first, like, how to make a web page.
Yeah, I see header 2. I see.
Yeah, literally,
bold.
there's like the H1 is Cheesy Manfredo Cathedral, link to the Twitter. Here's how you make bold and italic text, where the word bold is bold and the word italic is italic.
You put an image in your bullet list, which is like already advanced level.
SEO very unfriendly. There's zero anchor text here. If I click on this link, it does take me to a funny page. I do like the autism monsters. They're funny.
Thank you. That's I think because I looked through there's templates, right, that you could like just download, but the thing is, like, to maneuver those templates, like, it kind of expects you to know like coding language, and I'm like, oh, I don't know that shit.
Yeah.
So I just been kind of like, NeoCity has a very like kind of like new user friendly like tutorials, and I've just been going through that. I just been like, instead of following it in order, I just been like, I want to learn how to do this, and then I just look for it, and I just like copy and paste the code.
More people should use NeoCities. I donate to that organization every year in the hopes that it actually like becomes more popular.
Oh, it's great. Like, because I was like at work, and I was like, maybe I should finally have a web. I just really want a website where you can just read everything I already made, you know?
Yeah.
That is a really good idea.
Because like I've seen like webcomic pages where it's like dedicated to one comic, but I'm like, I kind of just want a website where you can just read all my comics, you know? And then that's where I'll post like the newer Bongo and Luna and other stuff too. You could all have it in one spot, so I don't look like a damn fool saying like, oh, well, if you go to my Instagram you'll find this one, but if you go to my Twitter you'll find this one. I don't want to do that no more.
I am doing that with
just
art at this point. I have several different social media sites that I want to prioritize over others, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have certain characters only appear on like this website, and this character is on this website. But for comics, I am thinking the same way you're thinking. It all needs to be in one place.
All right, exactly. So I want it, you know, that's going to be something. It's probably not going to be out anytime soon because I'm still like playing with it. I'm really super fucking busy. There's so much shit I'm doing in my real life that's not art related. That's just like real people business I have to fucking worry about.
Right? Hands in so many pies.
Exactly. So it's just stuff. But I think these new Bongo Luna comics are pretty good, and I'll keep making that until I run out of ideas, or if no one likes them. If everyone's like, oh, we don't like these new Bongo Luna comics, I'm like, all right, well, I'll stop, I guess.
Imagine if that happens. Everyone's like, oh no, he made Bongo and Luna woke. It's like, wasn't it already?
Bongo and Luna woke. The new intro comic I made is like, there's probably going to be less sexual assault jokes. If you read early Bongo Luna, there's a lot of those. There probably not going to be any more of those. I'm going to be honest. So if you're a big fan of the sexual assault in Bongo Luna, I'm sorry. I'm leaving you behind. No more.
Good.
Right.
I bet there's some guy out there that's like, I'm gonna learn to draw, and I'm gonna draw my own Bongo and Luna Dojinshi.
Oh my god. Go ahead. Do what you want.
All right.
I think we're coming close to the end.
I think we are at the
anything
end.
You wanna promote, Jim?
I'd like to promote Pokemon Concierge. I think people should watch it.
Oh, it's good.
It's pretty cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna watch it.
The main character is
like
insufferable though.
Really?
It's probably good if you don't watch it in English.
Are you saying that because she's a woman? Is that why you're saying that?
No, it's because she's like the literally me style of like has so much anxiety she can't even function, and by that I mean like I relate to her too hard, and I don't want her to exist.
Yeah, you're like I want someone with confidence.
Like, damn.
Yeah, exactly. Show me 10. I don't know who's that girl from Gunsmith Cats. Why isn't she the main character of this?
Exactly. Make that girl the main character of it. From this other franchise.
She should also be the main character of Terminator and Avatar.
Okay, is that what you wanted to promote? People watch that?
Yes, it's the character from Gunsmith Cats. His name I don't. The black-haired one, not the blonde-haired one. The blonde-haired one is like underage. She couldn't be.
The melanated one, I think, is the one you're talking about.
Yeah, the melanated one.
Nice. POV.
The
me
one
listening
that owns
to this episode.
the one that owns a gun store.
I guess I have to watch Pokemon Concierge. The man in the podcast told me to.
I gotta watch it. The podcast man compels me. All right, is that what you wanted to promote, Protus?
I do a podcast too called Joe Kakaka. We talk about JoJo.
Nice, hell yeah! And what do you got for us, Julian?
Yep. If you are listening to this, please visit vqcd.in. I'm working on a magazine for art and other miscellaneous cool things. It's called iCatch. It's going to be coming out very soon. It's going to be very awesome. So bookmark that website, vqcd.in.
Hell yeah. And I'm Cheesymanfredo. Gonna have the JoJo redraw zine out soon. Eventually in a couple of months. I'm gonna try to fix up my website so it's presentable. Gonna bring back Bongo Luna. Yeah, I'm gonna try to like get a lot of things more unified this year. And that's it. I just want to be financially well this year. That's the mission.
It's not the year of the dragon, it's the year of the cheese.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. All right.
I've been saying it's the year of the dragon because I've been reading One Piece and I just read through Wano.
Oh wow, that's so cool and epic. All right, goodbye everybody.
Goodbye.